When people talk about Halo, they might think about the campaign or the multiplayer or the Forge mode or the books or the competitive gaming aspect of the franchise. Yes, sir! But I want to talk about a part of Halo that has always stuck with me, and that is the trailers. Now, I might be biased when I say this, but in my opinion, Halo has the best video game trailers. I was always shocked on how real they made each trailer by making us think this universe actually exists. The first Halo trailer I want to talk about is a trailer that was released in 1999 by Steve Jobs. This trailer doesn't really relate to any Halo game nowadays, but that's not why I'm mentioning it. I'm talking about this trailer because of how many questions people were probably asking. What is Halo? Who are these soldiers? And who are they fighting? Bungie then figured out what they wanted to do with Halo and released a trailer for Combat Evolved, which was followed up by a legendary game. Halo 2 in general is a controversial topic, considering that it implies that we are defending Earth throughout the game, but we only spent a couple levels on Earth, but whatever, the game was still amazing. Halo 3 is when I think Bungie started to take their trailers to the next level. I remember the Super Bowl commercial 12 years ago, where Master Chief is waking up from a dream in the middle of a battlefield, dropping a bubble shield to protect himself from a wraith blast, and then jumping into a group of brutes. I'm a big football fan, but I think the trailer for Halo 3 was one of the main things I took from that night. As Bungie was promoting Halo 3, they captured how real it felt to its fans. The Believe advertisements with the interviews with former soldiers of the Covenant War, reminiscing their battles and how some of them got their scars. These videos reminded me of the documentaries I would watch in school about World War II.
How did you manage to keep it together?
We knew Master Chief was still in the fight. He gave us hope.
The Believe ad campaign also gave us a trailer of an intense battle between the Covenant and the UNSC. You go through different sections of the battle. With each scene, you see soldiers dying and fighting for their lives. What makes this trailer so special is that they didn't just animate some fancy trailer. They just set up a bunch of toy soldiers in a fight scene and slowly pan through each section of their fight. And as the music slowly picks up at the end, we find Master Chief being held by a brute, and just him looking at us saying, "Don't worry, I got this." As much as I love the Halo 3 ad campaign Believe, it really doesn't come close to the Halo 3 ODST live action trailer that was released. In the beginning of the ODST trailer, you hear bagpipes playing at a funeral for a fallen ODST. We are shown different people mourning the loss of their friend, son, or fallen comrade. The commander of the ODSTs at the funeral prepares them to fire in respect of their fallen comrade. As the commander prepares them to fire, he stares at a young boy at the funeral. The soldiers then fire their weapons, which makes the boy flinch. Then we skip to his training, but we still hear the echo of the guns firing at the funeral, giving him the motivation to join the UNSC to become an ODST. During the training, we see him becoming a soldier, and before we know it, he is jumping straight in the middle of a battle. Even after all that training, you can still hear his heavy breathing throughout the battle. And when he is hit by a brute, you can see a little bit of panic in his eyes until he picks up his silenced pistol and shoots down a Banshee that crashes into the brute. He manages to survive, but he doesn't leave without a couple of battle scars. In the end, we are brought to a gathering of ODSTs burying a fallen soldier. We see the young kid from the beginning, now a veteran of the Covenant War. As the group hears an explosion in the distance, the youngest of the group is startled, but the ODST we've been following throughout this trailer is numb to the sound. As he calmly looks in the distance, he puts on his helmet and prepares for battle. The last Halo game made by Bungie was Halo Reach, and the first teaser trailer that they released set the tone for the game to come. Reach, at least for me, focused on the inevitable doom of the planet and how the Covenant were a relentless force, willing to stop at nothing until the planet was extinct. The teaser trailer opens with voices speaking of something that is coming, and before we know it, the planet is consumed by complete chaos.
This is Sierra 320, prep for combat insertion.
What the hell was that? We're coming in hot. Hold on. We just lost our bird.
Oh my god, what the hell is happening down there?
People down here.
They just dropped off my map.
Overrun. We'll hold this position.
We hear voices speaking of civilians being caught in the line of fire,
Double one, come
and
in.
cities disappearing.
Double one, do you
And
read
before
me?
the trailer ends, you hear Spartan's voice say,
This is Sierra 259. You got Spartans on the ground, sir. We're not going anywhere.
Bungie wanted the fans to realize just how unprepared the people of Reach really were. You start to feel that when the trailer the day before was released.
The timing is insane.
Why? Half our friends have already gone. We can't
The
live in
trailer
this cube
shows
anymore.
different perspectives of characters. We see a couple
That's
talking
the
about
choice.
starting a new life
Leave my
somewhere.
family.
A woman saying goodbye to her child who doesn't want her to go.
Okay, but I have to.
Why?
Because the company needs me to.
Prep your team for immediate mobilization to Visegrad. We've lost contact with the comm relay hub.
And then soldiers
Roger.
being told to
We're on our way.
relocate to a different
Charlie,
position.
out.
The planet was filled with people going about their day before the invasion. And it just gives me chills thinking probably none of these people survived the attack. Deliver Hope is another live-action trailer for Halo Reach that follows Noble Team as they try to blow up a Covenant cruiser. We follow a member of Noble Team named Kat, who is carrying the bomb to the Covenant cruiser. As she's running toward the cruiser, you see Covenant throwing everything they have at her, and the UNSC throwing everything back at the Covenant to protect her. But eventually, Kat is shot down by a Banshee and is stopped from being able to complete her mission. The original Noble 6 comes to her aid, seeing her arm blown off. Kat then looks at the bomb that she was carrying, and without hesitation, Noble 6 takes the bomb and finishes the job, which costed him his life. This trailer shows how determined Spartans are to finishing the job, whatever the cost. Halo Reach then had another live-action trailer that went through the process of becoming a Spartan. Carter, the leader of Noble 6, is the main character of this trailer, going through his process of becoming one of the most fiercest soldiers in the UNSC. You see his hesitation as he lays down on the table, but then eventually puts the order through to becoming a Spartan. As much as I despise 343 for how they killed Halo, I still have to give them some props for getting me hyped for their shitty games. Now, 343 did have a couple good trailers for Halo 4. One being when the Forward Unto Dawn was being sucked into the Forerunner planet, and you see different perspective of soldiers in the Forward Unto Dawn cowering as they're being sucked into the Forerunner planet. And another being where the Master Chief is fighting the Promethean Knights and then being captured by the Didact. And then at the end, we see an ancient evil awakens, getting me all hyped up for Halo 4. 343 did release 2 amazing trailers where they showed both of the perspectives of Master Chief and Spartan Locke shooting each other down and ranting about how they both failed. I was beyond excited to see where 343 was going with this story, but like every other Halo fan, was completely disappointed when they threw it all out the window for this shitty fight scene. I do have to admit that there are a lot of good video game trailers out there, and if I had to pick one other video game franchise that has released masterpieces of trailers, I would have to say Assassin's Creed. But in the end, Halo is king. Bye.